Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla and the new show Overflow episode 44. We had a lot of new EVs being showed off by legacy automakers, and some of them seems to have been upping their game. And the new space race is heating up, but SpaceX and the US government has no doubt that they will win again. And full self-driving in Australia continues to blow people's mind. And the embarrassment of the US Department of Energy continues. And in Spain we see Tesla continues to dominate the EV industry. And Mercedes show off some new charging tech that can do over 1,000 kilowatts of charging speed. And Tesla held a new event showing off a brand new product. All of this and much more in today's episode. Start right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
So we got a lot of new EVs being showed off by the legacy automakers, and some of them seem to have been upping their game. Firstly, we saw BMW show off their new BMW iX3. Of course, Edmund had to make this decade-old headline: could the BMW iX3 be a Tesla Model Y killer? No, there is no Tesla killer, and there has never been a Tesla killer. One new model cannot kill Tesla, and definitely not the best-selling car in the world. But this one has some potential compared to the old one, as this is the first car on BMW's Neue Klasse platform. So we do get some very good specs, like 400 miles of WLTP range and 400 kilowatts of charging speed. So that is very impressive. And also the two things people are looking for when they're buying an EV: range and charging speed, and BMW is giving its customers exactly that, so that's very cool. They do put in a huge 108 kilowatt hour battery to get those range, so it will not be cheap to fill up compared to something like the Model Y that gets 365 miles of WLTP range from a 75 kilowatt hour battery. But all around, very good specs on the BMW, and they have of course copied Tesla's structural battery pack, so that is very nice to see. And the design of the car is much more subtle than the way BMW was going with the design before. So that is a positive for me anyway. The look of a car is of course up to your personal taste, but for me, I like that they didn't make the nostril any bigger, but went back to the small nostrils, back to the original ones, and made the car much more simple and not so bling bling as the old i7, for example. That was way too tacky for my taste. So I like the look of it. Compared to the Model Y, the BMW suddenly looks very boxy though, compared to the very sleek-looking Model Y. But the inside of the car is also much better than before, in my opinion. The steering wheel does feel a bit too much, and why did they tilt the screen in the middle? But other than that, I like it. It's a very exciting new look with a very cool screen under the front window there, where you can customize what you want to show on it. And it looks like the user interface is very responsive, so that is nice to see. Fully Charged have got early access to the car, so if you want more details, check that one out. It should start at 69,000 euros, so of course quite BMW expensive. So compared to Model Y Performance, Tesla's most expensive version of the Model Y cost about 63,000 euros here in Europe. But a very positive new EV from BMW in my opinion. Mercedes also unveiled their new GLC EV. No pricing yet, but no doubt it's going to be very expensive. They put in a lot of bling bling, but it will also have over 400 miles of range and 330 kilowatts of peak charging, so again, very good specs here. But the outside look, well, it looks like all the other Mercedes SUV EVs to me, except from the glowing front grille, also a bit tacky. And the inside, well, they did not tune anything down like BMW have done. Quite the opposite. This is just a bit too tacky for me, and while others are trying to hide their vents, Mercedes is making them as visible as possible. But some very nice specs on this car. And Nick also shared this picture. When it comes to the front of the car, legacies are making their logos and front grille illuminate and making sure everybody knows it's a BMW or an Audi. But Tesla has removed all logos and just has a much more sleek looking front, if you ask me. But Volkswagen has also shown off one of their new models coming, as Japan wrote on X, world premiere at the IAA Mobility, the Volkswagen ID Cross Concept, a compact SUV for the affordable electric mobility. 100% Volkswagen with pure clarity and positive personality. Well, 100% Volkswagen, well, that is true. It does look a bit boring, to be honest. The range is only going to be 420 kilometers WLTP. The trunk volume is only 450 liters and a 25-liter frunk, so not really making a big frunk there either. So not much space in the Volkswagen. Mercedes actually did make a big frunk this time around, even though they claimed last time that they couldn't make a big frunk because they have all that nice HEPA filters in the EQS. But now they suddenly can. But Volkswagen have so far not mentioned any 0 to 60 time or charging speed, so that probably means they are not something to write about. So I hope the price point is going to be truly affordable, as this is not a very impressive EV on its own. But nice to see the legacy automakers getting ready to launch their next generation EV platform next year, and the more the merrier, and competition is always good for us consumers. And the new space race is heating up, but SpaceX and the US government has no doubt that they will win again. SpaceX President Gwen Shotwell wrote on X, more than 50 years ago, in an extraordinary national endeavor, we sent astronauts to the moon for a short stay. Now it's time to focus on putting hundreds and eventually thousands of people on the lunar surface to live and work. Starting with Optimus 3, Starship would truly change the game. This is a race not to repeat what has been done, but to do much more. Don't bet against American innovation, and shared this little video.
That's the SpaceX Starship mega rocket lifting off this evening from southern Texas on a test flight after 2 postponements. NASA is counting on Elon Musk's company to help the U.S. beat China in a 21st century race to the moon. Mark Strassman has tonight's Eye on America.
SpaceX's Starship is the most powerful rocket ever built. Riding with it, NASA's push to land astronauts back on the moon and win America's new space race with China.
Our hope is still 2027.
You think that's realistic?
I do.
U.S. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is NASA's acting administrator. 4 years ago, NASA hired SpaceX to build a lunar lander version of Starship. But Duffy acknowledged a series of Starship in-flight failures and explosions earlier this year leave SpaceX behind schedule.
The U.S. has been to the moon already. Does it matter this time if the Chinese get there first?
It does. So we won the first space race. We're going to win today's space race and tomorrow's space race.
We copy you down, Eagle.
What?
American pride surged in 1969. History's first moonwalkers were Apollo 11 astronauts rather than Soviet cosmonauts. More than a half-century later, NASA needs Starship's lunar lander to return astronauts to the moon's surface.
Yes, SpaceX will be the factor that will make sure America will probably win this race again. So if Trump wants to win this race, there is no trying to hurt SpaceX in their government contract, as she has been talking about, because without SpaceX, there is no winning over the Chinese. Who else will they rely on? Boring? No, I didn't think so. And Tesla held a new event showing off a brand new product. Tesla introduced a new product called Megablock, so we did speculate about the smaller boxes we saw at the Megapack factory, and could that be a Megapack Mini? But it seems like it is only the inverters and switchgear between the Megapacks. And the Megablock is a pre-engineered system with 4 version 3 Megapacks that is 23% faster to install and all holds 5 megawatt hours of energy, so the whole setup of the Megablock is a 20 megawatt hour system. So getting a huge 100 megawatt hour system up and running only require 5 of these Megablocks with their plug-and-play system. No more wires under the ground, it's all in the Megablocks. So Tesla said it can deploy up to 1 gigawatt hour of storage in just 20 days. So that's very impressive. And they have made their system much simpler, cutting about 78% of the internal components in the new Megapacks, and the cost to install is reduced by 40%. So that is some insane efficiency gains. And Tesla will start production of the Megablocks in late 2026 in Houston with a yearly capacity of 50 gigawatt hours. So another big boost to Tesla's energy storage capacity that is already over 80 gigawatt hours. So Tesla also mentioned that they have 36 gigawatt hours online around the world, but expect to get another 30 gigawatt hours online from products they have already shipped. So that is a huge number that Tesla has already shipped and is just waiting for them to go online and bring in that profits. So that is about 84% of what Tesla has already installed today combined that are on the way to be installed soon. So sounds like some good growth numbers to me in their energy storage systems. And they also talked about what set Tesla apart from the competition, like they provide the customers with everything. You don't just get a box of batteries and then you have to hire someone to get it online and someone to service it and so on. Tesla does it all, from producing the Megapacks, having visualization software that can show the customers how the grid will behave on that exact time and date you plan to install them, installing them of course, and having the industry-leading software like Automaker, getting the most out of the energy that you buy and sell from the grid, to the service teams that handles the batteries. And just like with Tesla's superchargers, their Megapacks have an industry-leading uptime with 99.3% uptime on their 36 gigawatt hours of deployed system. Very impressive. But this is only the beginning of the journey. As the energy demand rises, especially with AI data centers growing rapidly, and the demand from Megapacks and Megablocks is going to be basically endless for years to come. This is a part of Tesla's business that will grow exponentially over the next decades. I can highly recommend you to see the whole event. I will leave a link to it down below. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Dave Lee wrote on X, "I'm thinking this is just an intro to the master plan part 4. The real master plan ought to have more specifics. Just my 2 cents." And Elon replied to him, "Fair enough, we'll add more specifics." Nice. And Ryan also shared some thoughts about his experience with full self-driving supervised in Australia. "I didn't think full self-driving supervised in Australia were worth $10,000 until it drove me flawlessly 1.5 hours into the city. I legit almost started crying and actually felt emotional about how insane this technology is. Tesla is no doubt working hard to release this wide for everyone soon. The long wait is almost over." And he also wrote, "Australian full self-driving on country back roads in heavy rain. The speed limit was 100 kilometers an hour, but the car dynamically adjusted to 70 kilometers an hour, never felt uncomfortable or dangerous. This is such a massive upgrade over standard autopilot." And Yunta from Tesla replied back, "The car can adjust the speed based on detected road conditions, tire wear and torque." Nice. But Ryan also took his mother-in-law out to try the full self-driving for the first time, and she doesn't even use autopilot, but she was very impressed by the system.
With a push bike in front, okay. Right, oh my God.
Wow, that's like highly illegal.
Highly illegal on a green light going right in front of us.
And raining.
And raining. Bloody hell, Ryan. Okay.
That was amazing.
That was amazing.
Yep.
And he was so proud of me I didn't overtake.
Yeah, you're doing great.
I didn't.
For someone that doesn't use autopilot, you're doing amazingly
Don't
well.
speak too soon.
But even though Ryan knows about full self-driving's capability, he continues to get his mind blown by this software.
"I'm starting full self-driving in the middle of a f***ing paddock and it still knows what to do." Let's give Autopark a try. Wow. Okay, how about roundabouts? Perfect. Dirt roads? Yes. Okay, so this is a school zone and changes down to 40 kilometers instantly. Right-hand turn across traffic. A pretty tricky spot, to be honest. Wow. Absolutely nailed it. This is crazy.
And even though IF Metal in Sweden is starting to give up the fight against Tesla, they still have people sitting outside Tesla's showroom, as Alexander reported. IF Metal still sits outside Tesla's showroom, where Tesla employee put up a banner saying, "Thanks, but we're good." While IF Metal sits there achieving nothing, Tesla is building sustainable abundance for all humanity. Yes, that is the difference between innovative companies like Tesla and mafias getting nothing done like IF Metals here other than threatening people. Or as Niklas shared, getting a nice nap during their work hours. No wonder Tesla doesn't want to be part of that. And the embarrassment of the US Department of Energy continues, as they once again made a fool of themselves by saying wind and solar energy infrastructure is essentially worthless when it's dark outside or the wind doesn't blow. Oh my god, guess he didn't watch Best in Tesla News episode 291, where I showed Rick's post about this huge underground battery storage system that was made. You know, just like a flashlight actually does work during the night because it runs on batteries, or your electric vehicle that can drive during the night even if it has been charged with 100% sunshine. But of course, the US Department of Energy also got communicated once again, as you cannot say such lies on X anymore. And the note said, batteries allows electricity to be stored and used at different times than when it's generated. Yes, even my 8-year-old kid knows this. But Elon also replied to the post and wrote, hello, sharing this post from July about the 100 megapack with Tesla's grid-forming inverters help stabilize the grid and unlock greater renewable resources across the region, and making sure that wind and sun can actually be used when the sun doesn't shine and the wind doesn't blow. And in Spain, we see Tesla's dominance continues. They have been doing very well in Spain throughout the year, and that seems to continue, as you can see on this chart. For the first 5 days of September, Tesla is not just leading, but absolutely dominating. But another thing to notice is BYD. It is actually number 2, so it seems like BYD is getting some real momentum in Spain as well. And Mercedes shared some new cool tech. This is of course just a concept car, so let's see when and if this will make it to market. But Mercedes says its concept AMG GT XX EV, what a name, achieved a maximum charging speed of 1041 kilowatts doing megawatt charging. Nice! It maintained that level for 2.5 minutes. The system transmitted 17.3 kilowatt hour in just 1 minute, which is equivalent to 54 miles of range. So that is very impressive and nice to see the old guys working on this technology. And Rivian showed off a new model. No, this is not a Rivian, but I probably got some of you guys thinking that. But this is the Scout brand on the Volkswagen, showing off another concept. But they couldn't have made it look more like a Rivian even if they tried. Even the inside looks very much like a Rivian, and it's probably going to run Rivian software as well. So why even bother? Just get a Rivian instead. So not going to spend too much time on this one. And Tesla Recruiting wrote on X, Giga Nevada, less than an hour from Lake Tahoe, is one of the world's highest volume plant for electric motors, energy storage product, vehicle powertrain and batteries, producing millions of cells per year. Come join our LFP, residential energy, powertrain and semi teams. Yes, a lot of things is happening at the Nevada factory. And CATL showed off some new batteries they are working on, and what stood out was their charging speed of getting 478 kilometers of WLTP in only 10 minutes. That would be great for road trips where you need to get to your destination as fast as possible, and making the ICE cars last pro that it can fill up fast obsolete. Yes, remember, EVs are as bad as they will ever be. But ICE cars will never get any better. And wireless charging will not be coming to the Cybertruck due to efficiency challenges from the vehicle being too high off the ground, according to a Cybertruck lead engineer. As Vas said, wireless charging for something as far off the ground as a Cybertruck is silly. He stated that to compensate for the truck's height, the wireless base station would need to be at least 6 inches tall, which is an impractical and clumsy solution for a home garage or public charging station. Vass went to mention that Tesla never took wireless charging on the Cybertruck past the prototype due to air gap reducing efficiency. And Grant showed off how silly Waymo's CEO argument for LiDAR is, as she said in an interview not long ago. LiDAR is needed to see at night. How are cameras supposed to see at night? Well, Teslas have headlights, bro. Yes, how the hell do you see at night when you are driving? Jesus, I'm glad she's not CEO of the company I'm invested in. And we had the Tesla Robotaxi account on X, right? $2.62 versus $12.94. Sharing this post from Grant that said, I just went across downtown Austin in a Robotaxi. It was 1/5 the price of an Uber. This is about to get ridiculous. Yes, Uber will be just fine. Yes, now Tesla just need to ramp up the amount of robotaxis they have in their fleet as they are working to open it up to the public this month. But then they need a lot more robotaxis than what is available right now. So going to be very exciting to see how they will handle this. And a popular Korean YouTube channel, Korean J, was pranking the Optimus robot at the Tesla diner. But then the robot pranked him back. And speaking of Koreans, the Cybertruck seems to get popular with the celebrities of Korea, as Tesla Archive shared. Popular Korean celebrities are owners of Tesla Cybertruck. Nice, just like I said, it is very expensive in Korea, but will probably be a hit with the rich and famous. And Tesla shared a new video of just how much luggage there can be in the new Model Y L. And it's lots. That is all we have time for in this Overflow news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it on YouTube. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so don't miss out on future episodes just like this one. And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel or become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out as some extra perks like early access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos. So hit the members button or check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website bestintesla.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, and access to all my research charts and spreadsheets also on bestintesla.com, or as simple as hitting the super like button. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.